Great. So thank you very much, Sharon, and thank you everyone for being here. I think this is a terrific event, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to speak to neighbors and to essentially tell you a little bit more about my platform. So I'm a 25+ year resident of the Fox Point neighborhood. I grew up in the neighborhood. I went to school in the neighborhood. I went to Providence specifically. And I went to the Boys and Girls Club. I frequented the Providence Public Library as a child. And I grew up in a single parent household. And as a first generation immigrant, or someone who comes from an immigrant family, I understand that there are challenges that we all encounter. And my story is one that is very similar to many of our stories. At some point, there was someone in our family who immigrated to the United States, and they had to figure out ways of being the best person that they could be. And so I stand before you as someone who has worked incredibly hard over my life to try to enrich my community, to try to do good by my community. And I hope that what I will share with you tonight will be in alignment with my values. And growing up in Fox Point and growing up in this neighborhood means a whole lot to me. And that's the reason why I'm in this fight. And that's the reason why I'm seeking to be elected to this office. Because for me, it's about serving community. And when we were thinking about putting together our campaign spiel and our platform, one thing stood very true to me, and that's putting community first. So I grew up in the neighborhood. I went to Brown for undergrad, where I studied as an undergrad, and then eventually went back to Brown and got a graduate degree at Brown. And since then, I've been working very tirelessly to improve the quality of life for folks in my community. I'm a passionate educator at the Wheeler School in Providence, and I'm a community advocate, and I can say activist, who has worked to advance issues of education, environmental justice, and again, neighborhood quality of life. Currently, I serve on the board of the Fox Point Neighborhood Association. I'm on the Brown Alumni Association Board of Governors, and I've been spearheading a coalition called the Providence Coalition of Neighborhood Associations, which has essentially brought over 19 neighborhood associations across the city of Providence together to work on common overlapping issues. Now that's a huge undertaking. And the reason why I do that work is because I think together with consensus and with working together with our neighbors and essentially trying to improve neighborhood quality of life, we can accomplish a whole lot. My story is one that's maybe not as similar as many of the stories that you hear in the city of Providence. We see kids growing up in a school system that's failing them. We see a crumbling infrastructure. We see our neighborhoods not getting better. And we really need to address some of these issues and work together so that we can have a better quality of life for all. And so that's why I'm really running in this race. And prior to moving back to Providence, I actually lived in the Twin Cities for several years. And when I was in the Twin Cities, I was an educator at a local private school. But that's where I was able to essentially gather some of the political experience that I think is going to be very useful as we move forward. I did work as a strategy director for a city councilman in the Twin Cities. I was a policy aide for the mayor of Minneapolis. I worked on a slew of different campaigns, including Senator Amy Klobuchar, and I'm very transparent about some of those campaigns that I've worked on and also some of the legislation that I have worked towards and been a part of. And the reason why I'm transparent about that is because I want you to know about who I am and what experiences I bring to the table and how that can help inform and shape our policy moving forward. So as I'm talking here, as you can clearly see, I'm someone who would much rather be in the casket than deliver the eulogy. But nonetheless, I think this is about having individual conversations with individual folks in this room. I'm not your typical politician. I'm an educator. I teach 4th grade at the lower school in Wheeler. I teach mathematics, language arts, social studies, and I teach kids how to build empathy. And I try to teach kids how to be kind and inclusive. And that's what it's all about. Running today and in the next few months is about making Providence a more inclusive place, making Providence a place that's truly reflective of the values of community. And running is about better serving all of us in our community. So I look forward to engaging in individual conversations with folks as we move forward. And I really look forward to allowing the community to shape policy. This isn't about me. This is about us. And again, I think it's going to take some time for me to be a polished politician. And I think this is who I am. I mean, if you see me in my day-to-day, people say, wow, you dress so neat, and you or someone who has worked so hard in our community. And I mean, that's who I am. And that's who I will continue to be. And I think this is about pulling people together. It's really beyond politics. And I'm going to be frank when I say this. Our politics are sort of like diapers. Some of our politicians are also like diapers. They're all full of you-know-what. And we need to really work together and inspire each other and build a grassroots movement where we can fight for neighborhood quality of life issues, whether that's taxpayer services and snow removal, whether that's trash collection, whether that's trying to figure out ways of mitigating the incredible amount of burden that we experience in our neighborhoods, 02903 and 02906, without undermining the vulnerabilities of those around us. I think it's about helping everyone. And I think we can do that in a very nuanced, pragmatic way. And I really look forward to serving, and I really look forward to getting to know you on an individual level and working towards making our community a better place.
Thank you.